51 bar. WMFS, Memphis' sports station.
Number one in the 901.
92.9 FM ESPN, an Odyssey sports station.
Double post time here. Grind City Media on YouTube, Grind City Media on X, on your radio dial, 92.9 FM ESPN. I am John Roser. Jessica Benson is walking right behind me. Bennett Doyle is in the producer's booth. Wes Warwick back in our Grizzlies Radio Network broadcast studios. Kyra Black, our technical director. She is downstairs here at FedEx Forum as well. 901-445-0929, 901-445-0929. The Grizzlies fall tonight to the Oklahoma City Thunder. 114-108, now trail 0-3 in the best of 7 first round series. And this one, I have seen this a couple of times now. I've had it said to me. I believe I've seen it tweeted. Jessica, you may have said it too. What is more gut-wrenching, losing like that or losing by 51 points like they did in game one? Either way.
It attacks different points of the gut.
It does.
I would argue.
Definitely different parts of the gut.
Shout out J.R. Moore.
Shout out J.R. Moore. Shout out Justin Moore. And shout out Ingram Hill. 901-445-0929. 901-445-0929. This one, I'm going to say, this one hurts worse. It hurts worse because... like, you fought in this one. Like, you fought. Like, the 51 was just like, that's, like, just, you laid down in that one. They didn't lay down in this one. They had moments where they kind of, you know, when OKC came back a little bit, where, like, they quit fighting through screens and it looked like they felt sorry for themselves. But when Oklahoma City tied the game in the fourth quarter, 99-99, I thought it was a wrap right there. I was like, oh, gosh. And there's, you know, like 7-8 minutes left. I'm like, that's it right there. And no, it wasn't. They still kept fighting, and they scored 108 with four and change to go. I think it was maybe 4:23, I believe. And then they did not score a point the rest of the game. But this one hurts because this team fought. This team really, really fought tonight. Grizzlies fall 114-108. Bennett Doyle.
So I mentioned this to Eric Hasseltime as soon as the final buzzer sounded. You know, one of the most painful playoff losses I can remember in this building was the 2011-12 season, game one against the LA Clippers when you were up.
The 27-point lead.
27 points, I think, in the fourth quarter. I was in the building as well, yeah. And then Nick Young, Swaggy P, hit three-pointers in under a minute, got it tight, and they just lost all their momentum, ended up losing the game. That one was completely different than this one because this one was a slow burn as far as losing your big lead. That one, the lead evaporated quickly, and they just didn't know what to do after that. And then the obvious big difference between the two as well is, you know, they had all their guys in that one. This one, we lost our best player. So I don't know. I can't decide which one was more painful, but yeah, man, this one hurts. I think we were all just kind of shell shocked after the game ended because, you know, it's you see it slipping away, and you know so much of that lead was built with Ja and his energy.
It was, yeah,
and the building was electric, and you just kind of feel it slipping away, and just hope that they can make a bucket here or there. I mean, again, they didn't score at all in the final 4:51 of the fourth quarter. Yeah. They scored 5 points in the final 7 minutes. Like, they could not stop the bleeding. It was rough, man. It was rough.
You knew, Jessica Benson. You have now said, and you knew when the second half started that. I mean, I'm trying to think. Look, surely they've got a big enough lead that this can't slip away. But you knew without Ja Morant, how difficult it was going to be, because the one thing that has shown is the ball handling has been shaky at times, not at times. It's been shaky in this series outside of Ja, and without him, the pressure that Oklahoma City can put on the ball. We saw that in the second half. The Grizzlies turned it over just 3 times in the first half, 13 times in the second half. Where what my thoughts have been on this one. We just heard Bennett. How about you, Jessica?
I'm devastated.
Yeah.
I'm legitimately devastated. If you're like me, perhaps you allowed your brain to start doing a little delusional thinking as FedEx Forum is rocking and the Grizzlies are up 29, and it just felt this confidence surge and this reminder that, when they lost by 51, we said the Thunder are a better team, but are they a 51-point better team? Of course not. I'd argue they're not even a 19-point better team, like Game 2. Like this Grizzlies team, but there's such a Jekyll and Hyde nature to this team anyways. And then Ja gets injured, and you could just feel it. Like you wanted to fight against the thought of what proved to be inevitability of a Thunder comeback in this game. But the air was sucked out of the building. The air was sucked out of the team. I do give them credit how they ended the second quarter. They threw Vince Williams Jr. in there, and he comes up with a big block.
He did.
And Luke Kennard comes up with a big 3. He shot the ball, and I was like,
the ball.
And in that moment, I said, all right, there's no way. If they're going to make plays like that, and I did think, like, the hustle plays, the energy plays, that seemed to be a real point of emphasis, and it has to be against this Thunder team, because they usually play like the desperate team. But then you just watched it slowly slip away. I remember identifying at some point when Isaiah Hartenstein picks up his 4th foul a minute into the second half.
Yeah.
And you're just screaming, like, go at him.
Yes.
And they keep him in the game. And you're wasting possessions, not getting heart in that action and trying to take advantage. And just from that point forward, it was like nothing went right.
Yeah.
Even as you're holding on for dear life, things are just not going right.
You could say the same thing with SGA getting his 5th foul and not attacking him. There are some things down the stretch, play wise, specific that we can get into, but. Yeah, obviously we're all 3 very devastated. We're going to hear from you now, 901-445-0929. We have full phone lines. Lang on the line. Hello, Lang.
Well. First of all, the funniest part of this show by far is Bennett and Jessica being completely out of breath when the show starts.
I try to talk for as long as
from that
possible.
Arena up here. That's a hike.
It's a hike. It is.
I forgot a second pair of shoes tonight, which that's on me. Wasn't prepared.
Didn't have your own clouds ready.
So I'm in my little heels, and toes are hurting.
As far as which is the worst loss, Game 1 or this one's by far worse. Because Game 1, you were never in it. This game, we had hope. We thought we had enough. We thought all of a sudden we'd solved everything, and this was our turn. We were going to do it, and then we didn't. That's why this was so painful. I love the way we played in that first half, like the pace, the aggression, the defense. It was almost like everything we'd hoped for came true in the first half until Ja got hurt. And the thing that sucks the most about it, I mean, if we're all going to be honest here, up 27 in the first half, at halftime, every one of us probably had that thought, oh, this could go the wrong way. We've seen this team play before. We've seen the Thunder play. And I think all of us who've seen the Grizzlies play had to at least entertain the thought that, man, worst case scenario, we might blow this thing. And then we did. To the point that you made, John, about matchups, like, I thought it was the last 5 minutes of the game. We kept trying to screen with whoever Shea was guarding to get him in the pick and roll and get the switch. And they wouldn't even switch it. Lou Dort would just run right around it and was able to get right back on the ball. And the Grizzlies couldn't do anything. I said on the Grind City Rewind, my dad always talks about when you go to a prevent defense, the only thing it does is prevent you from winning. And the Grizzlies kind of tried to play a prevent offense in the second half. Just try to use as much clock as possible, and it ended up killing us. And that was it. I got no question for you guys. I'm going to hang up and listen. appreciate you guys giving us this safe space, making the tree of trust, and I hope Jessica and Bennett got their breath back.
All right, thanks, Lang. It is, it's Grizz Group Therapy. By the way, like I mean, I swear it's 14. It's not 4. The number of steals Alex Caruso had. I mean, it's like every time I look up in the second half, Alex Caruso is swiping at the ball and getting a steal the other way. 901-445-0929. Rodney, you're up.
Hey, guys. Yeah, John, you just took I have 2 points, one OKC and then one Memphis, and you just took my OKC point. That may have been the greatest defensive second half I've ever seen a guard play in my life. The amount of times he got his hands on a ball and either stole it or deflected it to somebody else was incredible. He and Chet were by far the 2 best players on the floor for OKC in the second half.
Chet was the 3 points. I mean, the 3-pointers were they all felt just like
all timely. Yeah,
they were they were all timely threes. They never felt like they were threes when like we're up 20 and he hit one to make it 17. They're all like they're just cutting in. They're cutting in, and then they're right there and they tie the game.
And any space he was given.
Any
he
space.
Punished. Like, Dez cheated off on one of those. I think it was the one that made it a 10-point game. And you're just like, oh, he's the hot hand.
He's the hot one. And you can't, you don't want it to get to 10. You don't want it to get to 10. No, Chet and...
At some point during the game, I said the words, if it gets to 10, I feel like it's over. And then I was like, no, that's a defeatist attitude.
Yeah, that's a defeatist attitude. We can't have that.
But then...
And then it happened.
But that's how it was like, if you got to 10, it felt like it would unravel the confidence to the point where they wouldn't be able to hold on.
No, there's a little bit, and you could feel it within the crowd a little bit too. There was a feeling of you're also it's against time. You're going against time, like that. You're just looking up at that clock too, hoping it's just winding down faster and faster, that you're in a race against it. And hopefully you had a big enough lead that clock was going to run out. And by the time it did, you would still be in the lead. And that just ended up not being the case.
Second point from the Grizzlies side is I think it's time to start having an uncomfortable conversation about Dez. There's a pattern of him just almost disappearing late in games, and when Jaw went down, that was his and Jaren's game, and I don't think he scored a point in the fourth quarter, and he was just invisible, and that's not the first time that's happened. He to me just doesn't have the clutch gene, or is not a closer like Jaw and Jaren can be.
Dez was 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter. It has been all season. I mean, it's not just him against Oklahoma City. The whole team has struggled against Oklahoma City. They're 0-7 against them this year. But he has, there's no denying it. The 4 regular season games, he was 29.6 from 3, 36 from the field. It's been No, it has been a struggle. We will get to, if we don't want to have have uncomfortable conversations, but if we had to get to them, Rodney, that is something we will do when the season is officially over, and the season is not officially over. But thank you for the call, man, and I hope you make it home. Hope you make it home safe. I will say, like, the one thing we wanted to see from this team tonight was fight. We wanted to see them show up and fight, and I do. They showed up and they fought tonight. And even after Ja went out, there was a little bit of, they fell down a little bit, but they still fought and they fought back. OKC punched them in the second half pretty hard and ended up being able to, knock them out and get the win. But the Grizzlies did punch back. They didn't just lay down when OKC punched them in the second half. And so there's a game 4 on Saturday, and I'd like to see everybody there. That atmosphere, it was awesome tonight, the people that were there. The crowd was amazing tonight for the people that were there tonight.
I love an early afternoon tip. Yeah. I love an early afternoon tip off in the playoffs.
It's my favorite time of day.
Me too.
For a basketball game.
You can have a very good time Saturday morning. Early lunch.
Look, we even had a growl towel that honored Miss Betty.
We did. Pull up your pants.
Pull your pants up. And they did.
That is a double post listener right there.
No, look, are we going to talk about the jaw injury? Can we talk about the jaw?
Yeah,
this game literally starts and ends with the jaw injury.
I mean, it really does.
That's the game.
It's just hard for me to be critical and upset about the second half collapse because that injury sucked every bit of air out of this building. Watching him try to get to the free throw line and shoot those free throws, like you could tell that he was obviously really hurt. And then coming back out after the second half, he was on crutches, and just it was brutal. It was just brutal. And the other thing I want to say, man, like I know it's BS it wasn't called a flagrant. It just is. I know it was an accident. I understand it was an accident. It was still a flagrant. He undercut him, and why are you even trying to contest that in the first place, dude? It's 2-on-1. Like, you have no chance of making a play on the ball. I get it, he slipped, but I don't know. You got to call that there. You got to call that a flagrant there. It gets called on everybody, man.
It's not intentional, and this is the thing with plays like that. And I was grappling with this coming out of the Amen Thompson foul on Jimmy Butler last night. Yeah. And there's not intent, but it's stupid. And we talked about it with the Jalen Wells injury too. Like, of course, it's not a dirty play, it's a stupid play. So maybe we need a new categorization of stupid plays, but there has to be some sort of consequence, larger consequence in the game, or we're going to continue seeing this, and someone is going to get seriously hurt. We watched Jimmy with his butt yesterday, and we watched Ja with his hip today, and both of those were like, take the air out of a game, take the air out of a team, take the air out of a series.
It ended Jalen Wells' season.
And for Jalen, he breaks his wrist.
His was so bad that they gave KJ Simpson a flagrant 2 and kicked him out of the game. They had to.
Jalen Wells got carried out on a stretcher.
Got carried out on a stretcher. You can't say, after further review, we have deemed this did not rise to the level of it. Like, wait, what?
I mean, dude, Ja Morant has the most viewed highlights in the league.
He was so awesome.
You know what I mean? You've got to protect that guy.
He was so awesome. Yeah. He was so awesome tonight. Until that happened. And I thought, no, you could see, well, one, he was down for a while. But two, when he got up and he was trying to take those free throws, they were in a timeout. And you could see the ref. The ref is waiting on, like, for them to get back from, like, TV break. Ja is, like, looking at his teammates and the referees waving, like, come on. Basically, like, I am in so much freaking pain right now. I need to take these free throws and get off of the court. Like, that's how much pain I'm in.
I never want to hear from anyone again who tries to challenge, like, the toughness of Ja.
No.
Like, leave it with this year's postseason between playing through the ankle injury. I mean, and this is what you do come postseason. Shot up, like, every day. Yeah, we just stop talking after we get all the reports of him getting injections into his ankle going into the game against the Mavs, and then it's just like gospel that he's going to play. So he's making it work, playing through the ankle injury. And there has to be some serious PTSD from him today because guess what? He had another injury earlier this season by being undercut on a dunk attempt. And so that's scary, man. That's just a scary thing to have to go through. And I expected him to take the free throws, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't impressed by him taking the free throws and at least giving him the chance to come back into that game. Ultimately, he couldn't. And I was not surprised that he could not come back because it looked gnarly. He looked to be in severe pain.
He looked absolutely to be in severe pain. We're going to take some calls. We do have full phone lines. And we will talk about what the Grizzlies did well and why they would have won with Ja Morant tonight if he had not gotten injured and what could have given them. And they still do have hope heading into Saturday's Game 4. Eric, you're up. Hello, Eric. Eric going once. Eric going twice. All right. Pull up your pants, Miss Betty. Hello, Miss Betty. Oh, we can't.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. We
have to make it work for Miss Betty.
Yeah. We have to make it work for Miss Betty.
Mostly for my soul.
Yes.
Like, I won't sleep tonight if I don't.
Are we on?
Yes, ma'am, we are on.
Okay, all right. I have a few points. I did see pull your pants up. I thought that was really cool. I'm very disappointed. You took me back to the Clippers game, and I didn't want to remember that one either. Very disappointed, and but they did tried their very best. Now, I will say this. Normally, when your best players came out, I mean, Ja was just unbelievable, okay? And for him, my heart was just in pain for him as he stood there trying to take the free throws. It really, my heart just went out for him. Now, normally, psychologically, I should say, a team should have used that as the initiative to do better. So I'm going to be a little down tonight. The third quarter, they should have rallied because Ja was down, instead of being down. I think if you had a veteran in there, the veteran or the coaches should have said, okay, he's down, but let's go out there and show them, da-da-da-da-da. I don't know if that pep talk happened, all right? But I do know that in the third quarter, we only scored, 13 points in the third quarter.
I mean, Miss Betty, we only scored 31 points in the second half.
Exactly right. That's my point. Now, let me just say this. When we started third quarter off, Edie was sitting on the bench. Now, I don't blame coaches for a lot of things, but that's a rookie coach move. He should not have been on that bench for 5 minutes. He was intimidated in the first half. But when you sat him on the bench and then put the other people in, they just start just running to the basket, and they had no fear whatsoever. Now, granted, OKC is a great team, but when you and let me just say this: I minored in psychology. When you got a player on the floor twisting their hair, then they are not in the game. And I'm talking about my friend Luke. He was not in the game. So I'm not down on the team. I know they missed Ja, but they should have been motivated to do better in the second half as opposed to doing what they did. They just couldn't make shots in the second half. Ball movement was not good. You cannot expect Bain to be a shooter and a ball handler at the same time. It doesn't work for a shooter like that. So I walk away from this game disappointed and hurt, and it did hurt. And I do understand all the things that happened, but I do think it's the rookie coach move. We had people in there with soft that will not. I love Adamo, but he will not guard. Now he was doing good ball handling, but he is not going to get hurt, and that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing them not putting the effort in, and you know me, I'm all up for my team, but tonight the second half. It was like a tale of two cities. And I know Ja got hurt, but when Ja went down, they should have been motivated to do better, to hold it up for him. Can you imagine how Ja feel now? So anyway, I know I'm talking more than I should. But,
it's okay, Miss Betty. We always welcome your phone calls. We appreciate it.
All right. Well, I'm going to get off. I'm looking forward to the game on Saturday. I'm not down on my team. I'm just disappointed, just like everybody else. We're hurt, but they did come out and fight, and I agree. I love the fight that they had in the first half, but they laid down in the last half, and that's not what I'm expecting. So that's me. I know I sound a little weird tonight, but that's how I feel about that.
All right. Okay. Thank you for the call, Miss Betty. They could not make shots in the second half. It was either missed shots or turnovers. Yeah. The free throw line is the only thing that kept them in there in the second half. They're a perfect 10 of 10 from the free throw line.
And the Thunder missed a good number of free throws.
The Thunder were missing free throws. How many did Jalen Williams ended up missing? 6 of 10 from the line. Yeah. I knew that. I looked up at this Parker Fleming. I looked up at him when Jalen Williams missed like one late in the fourth quarter. I was like, how many free throws has he missed tonight? And I think it was so loud he couldn't hear what I was saying to him. But, Jalen Williams missed a ton of free throws tonight. 901-445-0929. Kimberly, you're up.
Hey, everybody. I screamed a lot tonight, so I don't have much of a voice left. But I know I'm definitely feeling disappointed and sad. But I was a little late to the game, because I'd been in a dance rehearsal. And when I walked in the FedEx Forum, we were ahead by a lot. And I remember I turned to one of the ushers. I said, I've told everybody, if we could just get this team into the grindhouse, Game 3 will be better. And the thing is, if we've got to look for silver linings, each game has gotten better. And I know we lost tonight, and I know that's terrible, but that's what I walk away with tonight is saying, okay, yes, of course we lost, and yes, it hurt. But every time we play them, we're learning more, we're growing, and we're trying, and we're fighting. And y'all said that earlier. The other thing, too, is for me as a Grizz fan, a longtime Grizz fan, I absolutely loved the moment when, I think it was maybe first quarter break, when they put the camera on Zevo and the grandfather. I thought, okay, maybe they did some type of locker room pep talk beforehand. The energy during that first quarter break and seeing those legends just brought me so much joy from past playoffs. So I want to highlight that because I think, we have a legacy, we have a future. We're in a moment that seems upsetting, but it's going to be okay, right? Because teams learn and grow and change. And I just wish that when I scream things that the coach could hear me, because I'm just a dancer. I'm not a coach, not a player. But I say things like, get ahead, stay ahead. That's kind of like my big cheer, get ahead, stay ahead. But my other thing that I've noticed, why don't we have people under the basket for offense and defense? Zach Edey is so tall. It doesn't take a lot for him to just tip it in or for him to do a rebound. And I'm not blaming Zach. I'm just saying anybody could be under the basket, and that could help. And like I said, not a coach, but that's just something I observe. So I'm trying to keep it positive. We've got Game 4. It's going to be
positive vibes. We got Game 4. Are you going to be in the building?
Kimberly, are you a therapist? You do good stuff. You're very calming.
I am a Grizzly Granny, so we are dancing on Saturday.
Okay.
That's right.
So
Kimberly's
we will
be
be on the court. Yeah. So
we can't wait.
Just try to keep the positive vibes. We're very blessed that we live in a city with an NBA franchise. We've got that, and we keep holding our head up. Doesn't mean you don't analyze what went wrong, but you try to keep looking at what went right and what the possibility is for the next game.
Absolutely. Thank you for the call, Kimberly. We will see you at Saturday's Game 4. And I hope they show up and they're going to fight. If they play, look, it's going to be tough if Ja can't play. But I just care about him playing hard. Like,
if you had told me they were going to lose by 6, so take the game out of it.
Yeah.
And if you had told me the Grizzlies lost by 6 tonight, I'd be like, hell yeah. They obviously played a much better game than what we've seen.
They showed up.
But unfortunately, it came in such a horrific fashion that it makes it a little more difficult.
Yeah.
But, and this team has won games. I don't remember the record off the top of my head in games without Ja this season. We have seen them win games. The problem is against a team like the Thunder, specifically a defense like the Thunder. And what was working so well for the team early is Ja makes everyone the best for that version of Ja that we saw tonight, makes every single person the best version of themselves. Like, that's the roster operating at its peak. Even Scottie Pippen, not having to play on the ball and being able to roam, get his shot falling. Also, like, friendly rims. Let's always remember the good old adage, role players play better at home, because we saw it with Scottie, we saw it with Santi early in this game. But even Desmond Bane, I remember at one point, Des missed like 2 really good looks from 3 early in the first quarter. And Ja immediately turned to him and was like, you got the next one. And they had a little interaction. And I wrote it down because I was like, yes, that's what you want to see. And the encouragement factor. And I know there's going to be a lot of heat on both Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. because those are the 2 who are left of the big 3, and they aren't able to rally this team and have them hold on to a 29-point lead. And I think there's valid criticism to be had there. But early on, like, they showed up in spurts. Des had 8 rebounds tonight. Without Desmond Bane, I don't know who's rebounding for this team in the series. I think he's led the team in rebounding in at least 2 of the 3 games.
Yeah. He has rebounded well. He has rebounded well.
It's one. You need scoring, though.
You need the scoring. It's the same thing how we talk about Kennard when it's like the play make. It's like if Kennard makes a play, it's like, yeah, we need you to shoot the ball. Like we need you to shoot the ball. I will say for the things I think they did well tonight. And look, the majority of it happened when Ja was in the game because they had a primary ball handler. One, I thought, and I was talking to somebody who was there covering the Thunder about it, and they said, Scottie Pippen actually talked about it after game 2, and they were like, and it's actually the way you have to do it against Oklahoma City, and that is you cannot get into your offense and run your offense. Like, you have to take the first shot you get. You do. You've got to take your first or second action has got to be the shot you take. Because the more you try to whip the ball around and the more you try to dribble, drive, and kick, they're going to steal the ball from you. They have too many guys who are good defenders and have too many guys who are active on the defensive end. And, there's some time, like Scottie Pippen tonight, like he came across half court. Edie had a screen. He just stepped right to the right of that screen and was like, all right, I'm wide open. Boom, I'm going to shoot it.
Mike Wallace called it an eclipse screen early on.
Oh, yeah.
Because he said it eclipsed everything. If you were a Thunder player and Zach Edey early on in the game, you were in total darkness after. And you started to see some vision there and the improvement of Edey in that situation.
They couldn't see Scottie around the around the Edey screen. So I thought they did a really good job there. There are a couple things late in this one where we had 2 timeouts here. I texted buddy. We had 2 timeouts, and we ran a play that ended up with Santi shooting an air ball from the corner 3. And then we had the Dez, Scottie Pippen 2-man game where they pressured Dez, and he had to sling it over to Scottie, and then they jumped out on him and then ended up getting a jump ball. And we still had 2 timeouts after that. And I'm like, yo, we need to get a good shot here. Probably could use a timeout here. And then the last one to Kennard, who gets covered up. So he drives it and kicks it to Conchar. And it's like, yeah, that's got to go to Jaren or Dez. Yeah. It has to. And I know Dez hadn't made a shot, but like this is where the game's on the line, and you got to give it to one of your 2 best players. Those are your 2 best guys. Those are your 2 highest paid guys that are out on the court for you that can be, and you've got to give them the ball.
They needed to touch the ball.
Also, Scottie was not out there during that either, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he was not.
Why is he not out there either?
It was Kennard, Conchar, Dez, Jaren, Edey.
Yeah. Eason, you're up.
Okay, hold on. Hey, just want to make a couple points. One, Alex Caruso is a Grizzlies killer. I mean, holy.
Yeah.
We still got you.
Did we got him? Did we lose
Embarrassing.
him? Oh, we got you. Okay.
Am I here?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Okay. Not being able to win up 29 with your second and third option is just, I don't know, but I hate to be a Debbie Downer. I just wouldn't be surprised if we don't have our core 3 or big 3 next year together. So.
Yeah. Look, that's a totally different conversation that we will touch on in off-season outlook when we get to the off-season, which may come Saturday. If not, it may come sometime next week. But we will do it right here on the Double Post. Yeah. Whenever that may be, we will do that.
Appreciate the call.
Yeah,
man.
Appreciate the call, man. Matthew, you're up.
Hey, yeah, man. So I got a few points. The first, Josh in a jump. He had time to save himself. The same when he tried to jump over LeBron. The team needed him. We didn't need the highlight. He could have got the foul and possibly got up and still played in the game. The second, the problem with the team when Ja goes down in the playoffs is the pecking order. They got to get Jaren the ball. You got to just feed him. Feed him. Who was that? Caruso got, 2 steals off of him, and then they stopped going to him. The man had just scored in a triple team, and he probably got 5 more touches the rest of the game. John get the ball the whole fourth quarter. When he goes down, Jaren should have had them last 4 shots. It's on the guards. The guards got to get him the ball. That's their job, to get Jaren the ball. But everybody go for a free-for-all and want to play hero ball. They think it's their time to shine. I get to take this shot. And that's on the coach. The coach got to call them to the side and tell them, get Jaren the ball. And shoot. And that's all I got.
All right, thanks for the call. I agree.
Totally disagree with the first point.
I agree on the Jaren thing. I
agree on that too.
I agree on the Jaren thing, and I think they need to. And I think you have to get Jaren the ball in different spots on the court too. It can't just be you get Jaren the ball on this left block where he
watched them triple team him every time.
Yeah, like you've got. There was one where he scored on it because they literally.
Awesome. It was the possession before Caruso had another steal on him.
Yeah, they triple teamed him.
Yeah.
And then they all left him. And then he was like, the triple team left me? Okay, let me go up here with this jump hook. And he made it. But no, I think you've got to – I do think getting Jaren the ball at different spots on the court, I think that also I think that's something that they need to do. Look, there's tons of things you could point to in this. 901-445-0929. David, you're up.
Hey, guys.
What's up, man?
First of all, I'll start with some positivity on a sort of negative time at the moment after this game. I think you guys do a really great job. I don't know why the 29 other teams don't have something like Grind City Media or as good, but I think you guys do a really good job. So, yeah.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. We're here, win or lose. Unfortunately, it's been losing lately, but we're here, win or lose. But, yeah, unfortunately, it's been losing lately, but, you know.
Well, it was a hell of a comeback for your guys, Dr. Thunder, wasn't it?
You'll never escape that.
I'll never escape it, I know. It was a hell of a comeback.
But seriously, just two guys I want to talk about quickly. Luke Kennard, he's turning into Ben Simmons of three-point shooting. Like, he's just, obviously it's all in his head or something, but, the one skill that's going to keep him in the league is the three-point shooting. And if you're going to be hesitant about that, it's going to be a real problem for him, I think, And, 30 minutes and he's only shot 4 times. He should be letting them fly like Malik Beasley or someone like that, You're not
going to get an argument from any of us on that.
And I'll leave you with Scottie Pippen. I have to give a shout out to him. I mean, he played against the best team in the West, the team that's the favorite. He played a huge game, was the best player. This was a guy last year who, people are saying, he's getting good numbers when the team is bad and not playing, not really competing. But this year, he showed he's a real player, an actual NBA player. And I think with all the negatives and everything that's going wrong, at least he showed up and he was good.
I thought Pippen was great. Thank you for the call, David. We appreciate it.
He's had a great season.
Yeah, Scotty has, because I've talked about Bennett when it was just when we were just doing this on radio. I told you I saw Scotty his first year in the G League when he was with the South Bay Lakers, and I never thought this is what he was going to turn into. He was not this. He was someone who just wanted to score and complained about and he complained to the officials nonstop. But he has realized, and some guys realize this and some guys don't, what they're going to have to be if they're going to succeed at the next level. And Scotty has realized what that is, and he is carving out a role for himself on this team in this league. Scotty has been one of the positives, I think, without a doubt, with what's happened with his team down the stretch.
I think if you go back to Summer League, where he was robbed of a Summer League MVP.
He was absolutely robbed of that. Who did Jalen Wilson from the Nets got it?
I think you're right.
The hell?
Who remembers that? I just remember Scott
Pure
Pippen was
poppycock.
But no, I mean, what he brings to you on the defensive end, and especially for a team that has just been devastated by losses on that side of the ball, and Scottie Pippen Jr. has remained a net positive. It is difficult because you do see the continued importance of having the ultimate steady backup point guard, right? Like
Yeah.
John Morant misses games.
Yeah.
That's a fact. And I remember the personal concern going into this season. It's not about Scottie Pippen Jr., who I think has risen to the occasion beautifully. But when does he play at his best? When he's on the court with Ja.
Yeah.
When he has to take over the role of primary ball handler. And the same thing goes for Desmond Bane. Neither of those are in a spot to be your primary ball handler. They turn it over frequently. We saw it all season long. There was a trial for Luke Kennard to be in that mix. Luke Kennard even started the second half tonight.
Yeah.
He's not built to be your secondary ball handler. Vince Williams, perhaps there was an opportunity. No, he's not. So that really comes down to it. That is one of the reasons why, no matter how much you want to lean on Jaren and Dez, and you should be able to have a 26-point lead at half. And if you have two of your big three, you should be able to find a way to win a game. I want to be crystal clear on that. But when you don't have someone to run the offense, everything gets so out of sorts. And we saw it multiple times this season, and we saw it tonight.
901-445-0929. 901-445-0929. John.
Hey, good morning, guys. Al.
Yeah,
I've got a few points to make.
It is morning.
Oh, no.
The positive, shout out to Scottie Pippen. That guy was awesome tonight. One thing that really went well was their early three-point shooting, and in the pregame it was discussed that we're going to have to beat them with some three-pointers. So it started off really well, but I do have quite a few criticisms, and I'm sorry, I'll try to make them quick. One, Ja, you're up by 20-something points, buddy. Don't be a superhero, man. You could have been on that court. We could have won the game if you just keep it simple. Two, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 5 fouls for like a quarter and a half. Nobody went after him. It was ridiculous. I don't understand that.
Yeah, we talked about that for a brief second. Yeah.
Eastflow had, like you said, a couple timeouts. It's as if he was afraid to use them. And what he did do, though, was Jaren makes a shot. All right, come sit. Pippen makes a shot. All right, come sit. Dude makes a shot. He's hot, and you come sit him. Like, I don't get that. So to me, I know that Mike Budenholzer is a defensive-minded coach, and I know he may limit his starters, which can change with a good GM. But maybe it's time to go get somebody who can really coach with veteran championship experience and do the best we can, guys. I mean, up by 20-something points. I'm a 13-year season ticket holder. I'm not just BSing out of both sides of my mouth. There's so much improvement to make. And us, we lost by 6. Great, but we lost either way. And when you're up by 20-something points, you're a professional team. Your best guy goes down, somebody else must step up. So I'm very disappointed. I'm not coming to the game Saturday night. I'd rather work my part-time job and make some extra money. I'm sorry, but I'm looking forward to October with a new coach, a new GM, and let's get it rolling. Go Grizz.
All right, John. Thank you for the call. Okay. I will be at Game 4 on Saturday, and then I'll be right back up here afterwards.
Hey, me too.
Yeah, and so will you, Jessica, and so will you, Bennett. 901-888-HOOP, Grizzlies.com, Ticketmaster.com. Get your tickets. Game 4, Saturday, 2:30 here at FedEx Forum. No, one of the things we've always talked about, like when you have Ja, we showed that clip from Game 2 where, he came around a screen and he looks up and there is Lou Dort here, Jalen Williams here, Chet Holmgren directly behind them. And it's like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do? You need somebody that can make a shot from the outside that is going to cause those guys to have to step away from you a little bit to give you more room to operate. And tonight we just talked about Scottie Pippen was that guy. I mean, it happened early in the game. Ja drives. He gets to drive. Boom. Kick to that corner. Scottie Pippen, 3. Scottie Pippen hitting threes from all over. And it just, you saw just how having someone who got hot tonight that was able to knock down those open threes, how much it just stretches the defense out and it opened up lanes for Ja. And I think one of the things Ja does so well that I would love to see him tap more into is that mid-range game. Yeah. He tapped into it a little bit tonight. Just whether if it's a mid-range floater, mid-range jumper, he tapped into it tonight, was so good at it. All right, we still have full lines. 901-445-0929. Barron.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Okay, I have 2 things. How do you not sit Jaren, Dez, and Scotty down at halftime and be like, y'all are playing 24 minutes the rest of the game. And I was also wondering y'all's thought on at what point do you send somebody in after Ja gets taken out and be like, hey, go get me a flagrant 2. Don't hurt anybody, but go get me a flagrant 2 on Shea.
Did Scotty do the nut kick before or after?
I was going to say, I believe Scotty Pippen Jr. kicked Chet Holmgren. That was a flagrant 1.
Yeah, that was a flagrant 1. Yeah.
That was a flagrant 1.
I know not quite what you were talking about.
I don't know if it was retaliation for the jaw injury, but
I think it was more just a stupid leg kick.
Yeah.
Well, we've had Ja got taken out earlier in the season. Jalen got taken out. Ja gets taken out again. At some point, you got to say, if the league won't protect my players, hey, y'all need to go protect each other.
Look, you're not. This isn't hockey. Like the NHL, you do that. Like the NHL, you may say, "Hey, go hit that guy and get a 5-minute penalty or 2-minute penalty or whatever." But it's just. I understand the frustration. I understand your frustration, Bear, but you're not going to go ask a player to go do that to another player.
Pissed me off too. I get it.
But yeah, it was annoying. There's no doubt about it, Bad. So I get your frustration.
All right.
We all do. Thank you for the call, Bear. 901-445-0929. Ian.
What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
So I'm actually a Thunder fan. I always call into Jeff Calkin's show in the morning. I don't, and I try not to gloat, and I try to be very neutral. And this game was officiated horribly both ways. I actually think that the Scottie Pippen ninja kick was not a flagrant. That was. I don't think it was malicious, but I guess they thought it was. And then the Edey foul when it looked like when Chet Holmgren was falling out of bounds when he got the rebound. We got the Thunder got the rebound, but Chet was not fouled. He was clearly not even touched. It was really annoying to watch that. And also the thing that's kind of the Grizzlies are not taking advantage of the fact that SGA has had 3 kind of rusty games now, and really,
he got going a little bit. Was it the first quarter?
Yeah.
He hit those. I mean, they were down by a
12
ton
in the first
yeah,
quarter.
he was getting to that mid-range jumper. He was looking for it. He was being aggressive for it.
But then he was throwing up these threes that were just so stupid. I mean, they were.
He did take some threes. Yeah, he did take some threes.
I mean, it was Chet kind of saved the day for them, but Scottie Pippen Jr. did amazing, and why did they go away from that? I mean, he had 13 points. With it, I think it was in the first, I want to say 8 or 9 minutes. I don't remember how far in we were, but he went off quick. And
Pippen was awesome.
He had his first 4 threes. He had 14 in the first.
And look, Pippen was taking his own advice. Like you said, he said it after game 2 that maybe the best way to play against this team is you got to take quick shots. You got to just get your stuff quick. You got to make sure your first action or second action gets open, and you've got to take the shot. There's no hesitation there, because the longer you try to run your offense and you get going against Oklahoma City, their defense is so good, they're just going to take the ball from you. And Scotty was shooting the ball quick tonight. They came out, and thanks to him and they played with force and they played quick offense.
Yes, and I think that really took the Thunder off guard. Big time.
It absolutely did. Yeah, it absolutely did. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, the Thunder do not give up 40-point quarters, and then in the second quarter, it's we got 67 points at halftime. The Thunder do not give up this many points and a half.
Yeah, it was.
And then they gave up 31 in the second half. So,
I was at the game, and I was fuming. I was just sitting there, not saying anything. My 2 friends are Grizzlies fans, and it was hard to watch, because I'm this is. I mean, the Thunder were 2 steps slow. They were 2 steps slow in the first half. You could visibly, you could see it. It was measurable.
Yeah.
And it was just hard to watch.
Yeah.
But, Yeah, I mean the Grizzlies did great. It was a hard fight.
They showed up and fought tonight. They did. They did. They fought tonight.
I'll say this, and then I'll shut up so you guys can move on. But I live in the metro, and I want the Grizzlies. I desperately want the Grizzlies to be good because it's good for the city, and and I'm an NBA fan at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so tonight showed some good signs. So.
Yep. All right. Thanks for the call. We appreciate it, man. Get yourself home safe. All right. We're going to take 2 more calls and we're going to hit a break. Darrell, you're up. Or Daryl.
Hey, yeah, Daryl.
Daryl,
I don't know who to ask the question to. Maybe not y'all, but do the coach have a call-in show ever?
No, the coach does not.
Okay, maybe, but the best y'all can tell me, whose idea was it to trade LaRavia and keep Vince Williams? And who do we get for Jake LaRavia? Who do we get for him? To me, that was one of the biggest mistakes that anybody ever could have made.
Yeah, we didn't get anything. So, yeah, like a 2nd-round pick, I think.
Believe a 2nd-rounder.
Question y'all can't answer, but man,
no. You're good. How you going? I'm pretty sure it was a 2nd-round pick.
The day it happened, I said, "What in the world?" And then when Vince Williams came back from his injury, he was not the same guy, and I'm thinking, who would I deal
So
with
it's
that?
a 3. Yeah, it was a 3-team trade.
Who did we get back?
Well, we ended up getting Marvin Bagley in this deal. We got Marvin Bagley, Johnny Davis, and a 2025 2nd-round pick from the Wizards and a 2028 2nd-round pick from the Sacramento Kings. That's what we got.
I know it's water under the bridge, but, man, that probably was a mistake. That's probably a trade they should probably not have made.
Daryl, there are things we will visit when the season is over and done, and we will talk about things. But that's
I don't call in on a radio show ever, and I don't listen to since I retired. I don't listen to talk radio like I used to. I thought maybe y'all had talked about it before, but I just want to know whose idea was that? Jake LaRavia. I'm telling you. But all right, that's all I had, y'all.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Congrats on retirement. James.
You got me?
Yeah, we got you.
Man, that was a heartbreaker for sure. But I'll tell you what, I don't know if it gets any worse than that, but my heart's down. I was in the stadium tonight, and that first half, it was rocking. I mean,
it was awesome.
I was screaming. It was amazing. And then as soon as Ja got hurt, I just felt it. I just felt something inside of me telling me this could go wrong. But I still had faith. And then as soon as Chet Holmgren started hitting them threes, I knew it was done. But I just went to Cookout, and they messed up my order, so it's getting worse. But it'll be all right. Because Game 4, we going to make history and come back and do the first ever 3-0 comeback on the Thunder.
I love this attitude. And it starts Saturday. Thank you for the call,
Sorry
James. We appreciate it.
Order.
And it starts Saturday, Game 4, Ticketmaster, Grizzlies.com, 888-HOOP, Grizzlies box office. Get your tickets for Game 4. Be in that building. I'll be waving the towel. And when we get back, we'll talk about Game 4 and whatever else happened in the NBA playoffs tonight. Yeah. And if you want to call 901-445-0929. And Kyra, I'm telling you right now, the chair to my right, I am going to be sitting in it when we come back from break. And then I will tell you why when we get back. The Double Post, John Roser, Jessica Benson, Stop Yawning, Bennett Doyle, Grind City Media on YouTube, Grind City Media on X, 92.9 FM, ESPN on your radio. We'll be back after this.
Flu season is here. Protect yourself and your loved ones with a seasonal flu or senior flu shot at the Shot Nurse. With 3 locations, it's fast, convenient, and easy. Plus, it's free with most insurance. Or for groups of 10 or more, the nurse can come to you. Call 901-685-9999 or go to shotnurse.com to book your group appointment. The Shot Nurse is your wise choice.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership is better than ever. Save up to $1,100 each year on gas, groceries, delivery fees, and streaming options. With double fuel points, unlimited free delivery, and exclusive savings for members, there's so much to love about Boost. Sign up for a Boost membership today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Cheer on the Grizzlies with a slice of pizza in hand. When it's game day, there's only one place to satisfy your cheesy, doughy cravings. Head over to Rockin' Dough Pizza and Brewery, available at Section 109, for the ultimate winning team of pizza made with the freshest ingredients and local craft beer. Score big with flavor at Rockin' Dough Pizza and Brewery. Also visit us at our Germantown, Cordova, and soon-to-be Orleans Station locations.
Thinking about when you'll hang your jersey in the rafters? Robinhood Gold members enjoy Hall of Fame treatment with a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. Accelerate towards retirement with Robinhood, the official investing and jersey patch partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires a gold subscription for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. For more information, go to robinhood.com/retirement. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
If you're looking for a getaway that has it all, and all just a quick flight or a short drive from North Texas, you need to plan a visit to Little Rock, Arkansas. This historic capital city is big in all the right ways, with a vibrant, walkable downtown that you're going to love to explore, a booming dining scene, endless arts and culture, exciting events, and more, all surrounded by endless places to get outside, hike, bike, paddle, and play. One visit and you'll leave big on Little Rock. Plan your getaway at littlerock.com today.
There's work being done and changes being made in Memphis. The Memphis Police Department is working hard to protect the peace, the pride, and the people of our city, to realize our greatness together, doing jobs that matter for ourselves, our families, and our community. If you're ready to work for change and not just wait for change, we need you in a challenging and financially rewarding career with the Memphis Police Department. Become the change. Visit joinmpd.com and apply today.
Welcome to the NBA playoffs. The moment we've all been waiting for is here.
The fans now on the edge of their seats.
It's time to stay locked in to every single moment. Because you never know when history will be made. When it's win or go home, every moment matters. So don't miss a thing. NBA playoffs presented by Google continues on ABC, ESPN, TNT, and NBA TV.
Are you tired of dealing with meters and paying overages on your copier invoices? Give Konica Minolta a call to learn about their One Rate program. That's right, you pay one rate, and it includes the machine, unlimited printing, toner, staples, and there are no meters and no overages involved. Simplify your copier and printer billing by calling Jeff Lee today at 387-5603 to learn more about the revolutionary new program.
All right, it's the double post here on Grind City Media on YouTube, Grind City Media on X, and 92.9 FM ESPN on the radio. Dial 901-445-0929. And the reason I am sitting in this chair right here with the Wiseacre taps behind me, and I'm going back to my seat there. I'm going to go back to my regular seat for this show. But the reason I'm sitting here is I have now hit today in the work day. Because we're technically in 2 different days now. But the work day is all one work day. I have hit the GCM studio cycle. I was where Bennett was for the Chris Vernon show. I was where you were, Jessica, for the Odds Couple. I was in this seat where you sit for your show for the beginning of the double post, and now I am in this seat.
It's the little thing.
The second segment of the double post.
Okay, nerd.
I don't think that's ever been done before.
Nerd.
I don't think that's ever been done before.
Get back in your seat. Get back in your normal seat.
GCM studio cycle, first time ever done.
I'm not. You know what? You can have that. I'm not even going to attempt it.
Yeah,
that's all. That's your record, buddy.
Yeah.
Congrats.
I am I'm a workhorse. I'm like I'm Derrick Henry.
Okay.
All right. So we have another basketball game. Real quick, in the NBA playoffs, you know what I do love a little bit? Shout out to the team because, look, there was something that they clearly were tired, and they showed pride tonight because they were tired of being the laughing stock of the NBA playoffs. Any national podcast, I don't know how many NBA national podcasts y'all listen to.
They just stopped talking. First they made fun of them, and then they just stopped talking about
oh no, I'm literally listening, and they say, okay, can we talk about the real playoff games now? And it's like, man, another one. You got several other national podcasts that are saying they're not even a real playoff team. Yeah, there have to be 8 teams, so yeah, they're in it, but this is not a real playoff team. You had the TNT guys.
Like after they beat the Mavs.
Yeah.
In the play-in game. That game was on ESPN, right?
Yeah.
I think it was Tim Legler who was on SportsCenter that night. I was watching when I got home from our double post late into the evening.
Yes.
And he had a comment like, this Grizzlies team, they're not your usual 8 seed. And there was a respect behind those comments. And I've held on to that throughout the
Shout out Tim Legler.
At least there was somebody kind of thinking that.
Yeah.
I didn't 100% agree with him in the moment, but just the notion that this was a Grizzlies team that had been a 2 seed, not that long ago in the Western Conference standings, and obviously the tumbling that happens. But to go from that to the discourse after Game 1 and Game 2 was, pretty.
And they stood tall.
To have to sit through. So I do appreciate that the team came out today. They could have. We would have had to sit here and criticize it greatly, but there was absolutely a world where you choose to just come down completely dejected, being down 2-0, and you 1-2-3 Cancun it, and they came out. They 100%, I can say with confidence, came out to win this game tonight.
They did,
and they were going to win the game.
They were going to win the game.
John Morant had another cut by Lou Dort. They would have won the game.
So the TNT guys, Shaq, Barkley, they totally crapped all over us last night. Why are we showing this game? Why are we not showing Denver and the Clippers? That's the better game of the two.
Stunk.
Well. Turns out our game was the better game of the two. The Clippers, 117. They almost beat them by more than the Thunder beat us in Game 1. I've got to do math on this. 34 points. No, they didn't. They were still a ways away. But 34 points. 34 points. The LA.
And if they had just lost by another 17.
It looks like right here when I'm looking at the score, it looks like a lot more. 117-83. The Clippers beat the Nuggets. No, Bennett, you're right. Jessica, you're right. If Ja doesn't get hurt, and we're going to be doing this game, we can do this game until we have Game 4. But if Ja doesn't get hurt, they do. They're going to win this game. They would win this game. Do I think they would have won by 29, which is as much as they led by? No. Oklahoma City's too good of a team. They're going to make a run, but I think you win the game. I think you probably win the game by double digits. And then you have belief that, okay, we found some stuff. Mm-hmm. And maybe you don't have the depth to totally execute it over the course of the rest of the series, but you can play more competitive now because you found some stuff. And then that fall happens, and you can see it right away. You can see it when he's walking off the court, and he's walking back on to shoot the free throws, and he's telling the referees, "Yo, let's go and do this so I can get back there. I'm in real pain here." And when he took his jersey off, when he was walking off the court,
and I knew
you knew.
I was like, he's done for the game. Yeah,
you're done for the game. You're done for the game. Hopefully. Look, we're not doctors, so whatever. We'll find out what we find out tomorrow.
Hopefully he can go on Saturday.
And hopefully he can go. Hopefully he can go on Saturday. But that's kind of it. But look, I would say this could be the NBA season is. It's one of these things. Like you miss it when it's done, when it's gone. Like you miss it. Like there's gonna be. I think what's the next thing in this arena after this season? It's like the Creed.
I think.
I've got tickets to that. And I'm not going to hear either. I'm not going to hear either one of y'all laugh at me.
No, go off.
Creed's a long way away, isn't it?
Creed is July 27th.
Lil Wayne's May 15th.
Lil Wayne's, okay, we got Lil Wayne, Louisiana. And then there's going to be a bunch of renovations in the arena. There's going to be, I think they start some renovations. But if you don't have tickets to Lil Wayne, you don't have tickets to Creed, you don't have tickets to Shinedown, Or Charlie Wilson? Isn't that like right before the season starts?
I think so.
If you're
Charlie
not going,
Wilson, October 12th.
If you're not going to those, then you're not going to be back in FedEx Forum until next basketball season.
Yeah.
Or Friday or Saturday could be your last chance to watch NBA basketball this season in the building. So I would tell you, right now you may be like, oh, whatever. You miss it when it's not there. So get your ass down to FedEx Forum. Ticketmaster.com. 888.
Make a day of it.
Grizzlies.com. Tell them Towel Man sent you. Where's my towel?
Are you going to put towels out tomorrow?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to. I actually really enjoyed it. That was the first time
a very therapeutic experience.
Yeah, and you feel like you're look at that for the M. I'm gonna lay out towels again tomorrow. You feel like you're I don't know. You're part of something greater than you. Greater than yourself.
I'm so happy to hear you say. No, Bennett, you don't get it. Have you laid out the towels?
You haven't laid out the towels.
Because I completely agree with what Rose is saying.
You do.
It is the strangest.
It is
thing.
so weird.
Yes.
You feel awesome. And I was putting up towels in section 101 and 118. And when it was me and Darnell and Devin. And Devin, by the way, employee of the day. And I was Towel Man. I was labeled Towel Man. He was named Employee of the Day. And after we did sections 101 and 118, it was, hey, let's go to the terrace. Let's go to the upper level. And you know what we did? We went to the upper level, and we didn't take the elevator. We took the stairs up there. Because that's what we do in Memphis. We grind. We take the stairs. Well, I don't know. I've seen a lot of people in the city. We don't really seem to like stairs. But we took the stairs up to that terrace.
What a side
what the hell?
We gotta get. It's 1 in the morning. We gotta get off.
They're big backs in this city. I believe it's what they're called.
But I agree. It is.
I mean, I'm kind of,
to go back to the point of being a small part of something greater.
Yes.
When you lay down the towels, it's like a very methodical.
This is why you have to be on the show, Jessica.
Yes, I gotta bring this back. It's a very calming act to do. You lay it gently on the seat, and you want to make sure that it's right, and you want to have the message on front, and you want to see what the message is going to be Saturday.
But sometimes on some of these seats, you've got to make it to where the four, some of it gets cut off. Yeah, some of it has to get cut off. Otherwise,
some of the chairs are more slippery than the other chairs. But all that to say, it reminds you as you're doing it, and then when you see the finished product,
yes,
and it usually takes like an hour and a half, depending how many people show up. But you see the finished product, and you just know, it's going to be such a special thing. Like, you were a small part of a very special thing here in Memphis, which is playoff basketball. And for one half tonight, we had it at the full, beautiful, wonderful thing that we have grown to know it to be. And there is a belief level, and there is a synergy between the city and this team, and it is all working together. And it is so awesome. Like, nothing makes me prouder to live in Memphis, Tennessee, and to call this place home, and to be fortunate enough to be a Memphian, than those moments. And I know Saturday is going to be tough.
It is.
For people to get. I know. And no matter if John Morant plays or not, you were down 3-0 to the 1 seed. It's going to be tough.
But we're tough.
But we're a tough city.
We take the stairs.
We take the stairs.
We take the stairs. That's what we do. Hashtag win for the M. You turn the M upside down and it's a W.
I gotta go to bed.
I am Towel Man. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to let Jessica go to bed. Bennett and I are going to wrap things up after that. This is the Double Post. Grind City Media YouTube, Grind City Media on X, 92.9 on your radio dial, 901-445-0929. Grizzlies down 0-3 to the Thunder. We'll be back right after this.
At the Regional One Health Surgery Center, our focus is not only on healing, but getting you back to normal as quickly as possible. With expert surgeons and the latest technology, we offer the most advanced robotic and minimally invasive procedures. That means you get the most effective care with less time in the hospital and more time doing what you love. Regional One Health, specializing in tomorrows.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, You can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous. A legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
This is Gary Parrish reminding you about Danny Morrison Roofing Professionals. They're a local, family-owned and operated business serving the Mid-South's residential and commercial roofing needs since 2010. It's the home of the free roof. You really can get a new roof with no cost to you. Most roofing jobs, they can be done in one day, so this isn't some lengthy process. Just call Danny at 901-870-0186. It's Danny Morrison Roofing, a proud supporter of the University of Memphis Athletic Department. Danny Morrison Roofing, 901-870-0186.
Hey, I got good news, folks. It's springtime at Oak Hall. Okay, not technically springtime, but you walk in that store, you'll feel like it. The colors are bright. The clothes are beautiful. It is time to get ready for spring and summer at Oak Hall. Maybe you're headed somewhere warm. They've got swimwear too. And it's the same wonderful people, same beautiful clothes who are there for you at Christmas and throughout the year. Springtime at Oak Hall. Go back in and see your friends today.
Spring into big bloomin' wins at Southland Casino Hotel. Earn entries in April to win your share of up to $100,000 in free play or a 2025 GMC Denali Sierra on April 26th. On Fridays, play Take It or Leave It for your share of $215,000 in free play. Saturdays through April 19th, win $1,500 in free play every 15 minutes. Big wins and a brand new Denali. Only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Looking for a place to get hyped before the game? Courtside Grill at the Weston Memphis Beale Street is the place. Try our specialty appetizers like alley-oop nachos layered with cheese, tomatoes, and jalapenos. The technical foul appetizer will mean you are in big trouble as you savor 6 big bites of wings. Fallon out tenders dipped in buttermilk served with fries will be worth it. And try our unlimited soup and salad for just $15. Snack on some chips and queso while you're waiting for that courtside burger. It's 7 ounces cooked to order served with fries. Dribble into flavor with our full court press cocktails, the ultimate shot for your taste buds. The fan favorite is the Slam Dunk drink, which will really get you hyped up. If you're hanging with your friends, a bucket of beer will do the trick, and a must try is that courtside lemonade that is a divine cocktail for the ladies. After all the fun at courtside, jump into our heavenly bed for a restful night. Courtside Grill just across the street from the FedEx Forum. See it, the only destination before and after the game. It's all fun at Courtside Grill.
We're back on the Double Post. John Roser, Bennett, Doyle now, and then there were 2. We let Jessica Benson go to bed. She's got the Jessica Benson Show tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. right here on Grind City Media YouTube. The Grind City Media... I'm tired too. Grind City Media on YouTube. Grind City Media on X is where you can find the Jessica Benson Show beginning at 8 a.m. Bennett Doyle will be on with the Gary Parrish Show, 10 a.m. Grind City Media on YouTube, Grind City Media on X. And then I will be on the Chris Vernon Show with Chris Vernon and Devin Walker, the Grind City Media YouTube page and Grind City Media on X beginning at noon. Next up, the Grizzlies do have another game. They lose tonight 114-108, but they do have another game. It will be Saturday afternoon, Game 4, their first-round best-of-7 Western Conference playoff series against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder lead at 3-0. Game 4 will be Saturday at 2:30 on FanDuel Sports Network. So, Bennett, you got any final words before we get out of here? I am. Grind City Media is even hitting me up in the YouTube chat telling me to go home. I'm delirious. I know.
I'm tired too. No, just, just a pretty devastating loss. I think we've said everything that needs to be said. When Ja went out, just everything changed. just the energy, the momentum, just everyone felt it. Everyone that was in the arena tonight felt it. Everyone that was watching felt it. It just it is what it is. It's brutal.
Plum.
It's brutal. Yeah, man. I hope Ja's okay.
My plums.
I hope Ja's okay. He looked awesome in that first half.
He was so good.
So I feel for him because they were going to win that game tonight.
They were going
to win that game tonight. He was not going to let them lose.
No, they were determined. We are getting that. We are not going to get swept. I was even talking to a person next to me who was with the Thunder. I told them, I said, they look like they are bound and determined. They are not going to get swept. And they looked at me and said, I think I agree with you that, they are not going to let this happen. And then, we saw what happened. Ja went down, and the rest is history. That's going to do it for us here on the Double Post. Thank you to all the people who helped put this broadcast on for the Memphis Grizzlies, John Pugliese and Scott Zachary. Odyssey, it is the parent company, the flagship radio home of the Memphis Grizzlies, 92.9 FM ESPN, which is what you're listening to if you are in your car listening on your radio. Their GM and VP is Nicole Hartman. Their brand manager is Brad Carson. Eric Hasseltine, Elliot Perry, Wes Warwick. All of them with the Memphis Grizzlies radio network. Our technical director, 101 like Gunna, Kyra Black, Darnell Brady. He's cut up some clips. Jacob Blevin, Sean Byrne, Jessica Benson, Bennett Doyle, and thank you most importantly to all of you who watch and listen to us do this. We can't do it without you, and you have made this already much more successful than we ever thought it would be, just starting out without really any promotion of it. Thank you to all of you. We love you. Grizzlies in Oklahoma City. Saturday, 2:30 is Game 4. Lang Whitaker will have the warm-up show for you beginning at 1:30 on the Grind City Media YouTube page and Grind City Media on X, leading in to the FanDuel Sports Network pregame show with Fish, with Brevin, with Chris. Myself, Jessica, and Bennett will be right back with you after Game 4 for the Double Post. Until then, good night, everybody.